This is just a video about my boat, which is for sale. I just thought I'd make a video so you could take a look at what you're potentially going to come and look at or buy. I've had a lot of questions kind of thrown at me about the boat. I kind of give the same answers over and over again. So I just thought maybe I'd make a video this time so that you can get a good look at it and know what you're looking at before coming to see. Okay, so let's give it a whirl. So this is the boat. It's a Maxim 27 feet cabin cruiser. I've had the boat for about 3 years now. I've done extensive kind of work to it. Basically I've done everything more or less to it. The reason I did so much work to it was because it was kind of a long-term kind of family investment, I guess. But I've recently relocated to the UK, or back to the UK. Got a job there, so the boat's kind of sitting here really, which is why I'm going to sell it. So this is what you have. The boat's come out in September, and it came back in to the water in April. It's soaked with a permanent pontoon on pontoon A of MC de Marina. In my opinion, it's probably the best pontoon because it's like the furthest inland, so even in the winter it gets well, no kind of rough water to damage the boat or shake things around at all, as opposed to some of the guys I've spoken to who are further out near the breakwater, where they've had some issues with their boats being thrown around in rough weather. Obviously in pontoon A you don't tend to get that. When it was out this year, we replaced the engine because the engine that was there was a diesel engine. It was a little bit too heavy for the boat. So I took some advice from a mechanic, or a mechanic, a guy called Vincent Borge, goes by the name of Cenzo, works at Lonzu Boatyard, and he recommended we put the original type engine, which the boat would have been soaked with, back in. So we have reconditioned 0 hours, I guess. Mercruiser big block engine, and the full description of that will be listed in the advertisement for you. Okay, basically this year it's had the bottom paint taken off. It's had the hardest type of anti-fouling on the bottom. It's the black stuff, which tends to last for a couple of years really, rather than just annually, which some anti-fouls are. The boat's been polished nicely. We had the new engine, which we just spoke about, and we had a rewire as well. So everything basically has been looked over mechanically and electrically, so it's sound, absolutely sound. And the engine has a 1-year guarantee, which started yesterday, which was, what was it, July the 3rd, I think, yesterday. So yeah, until next July the 3rd, the engine's 100% guaranteed for parts and labour, as it's just been newly installed, as I said. So I'll get on board and we'll have a little look at some of the features inside for you to take a look at. So there's the new engine. It's a Mercury Mercruiser. I'll get the full spec on the advertisement. I'm not a petrol head, unfortunately, but this is the big block engine, which was an option, and came with this boat originally. As you can see, all the wiring's been redone and all trunked in. There's a new exhaust system on here. Once we install the engine, we change the exhaust too. There's a new leisure battery on that side, septic tank and macerator for the toilet, and that's your starter battery. Inside here we have a new electrical panel, again all trunked in. So everything's in really good nick, and as I said before, there's a 1-year guarantee on part and labour with this engine for that. Fire extinguisher as required, and that's it for the engine room. Okay, so if we start at the back, this is the back of the boat. At the moment we have the tender kind of tied up there, but it's a nice size swimming platform with a ladder there. Some courtesy lights, I believe they're blue if I remember correctly, which are nice at night. There's the outdoor shower. Come on board. There's a L-shaped seating arrangement at the back, which is kind of cool, with this kind of, I guess, quarter circle seating area too, and then the captain's chair, which kind of turns around, so you can make like a more social kind of usable space at the back when socialising. We've got marine radio. There's 2 speakers outside and there's 2 speakers inside too, and there's a face-off radio which I'll show you in a sec. VHF radio, that's the macerator pump. We have a new throttle cable and a new stick too because the old one had snapped. So that's all brand new. All these rocker switches have been replaced as required. We couldn't find one for the horn, so we had to replace it with a different switch, but that's all been recently done. New gauges, so all the gauges are new. Depth finder's working fine. This is depth finder windlass, so we've got a electric motorized anchor with a windlass here. There's a low pressure gauge here, so if the oil pressure should drop, the beeper will start. It's on before you start the engine, and then when the oil pressure kicks in, it goes out. But it's just an added security that if you were to lose pressure whilst out at sea, you get that beep as a warning. And then the compass at the top. If you go to the front of the boat, you can step up kind of over the seats there onto the front. There's plenty of space up top here for sunbathing and so forth. Yeah, pretty standard up front, I think. There's a rail going around. Got our windows for the anchor. That's the view back of the boat. The bimini top is brand new. Well, I think brand new. It's 2-year-old. I changed it just after I bought the boat, and that's Sunbrella material too. So that's kind of as good as it gets, really. As terms of that's how they come. Oh, jump back down and go take a look inside. Okay, so when we come inside the boat, step down. So this area is the first on the left side. This middle section here can pop up into a dining table, so you can have like 2 sides for seating and a dining table in the middle. But I usually leave it set up as a bed because the kids kind of like to lounge out or play on their laptops there as they go along. A few storage lockers here, another one there. It's a brand new fridge. This was changed last week. That's all in good working order. Chill my water for me. More storage cabinets this side. Storage under there. Some storage up this side. Then we've got the 3-hob gas cooker, and that's all in good working order too. That's the V-berth at the front. You got a couple of people sleeping in there. Some life jackets down there. In terms of life jackets, we've got like enough for 8 people, I think, maybe 10. But also down there somewhere there's the flare pack. So that's all new too in that plastic bag, with all the flares kind of that required with the size of the boat. So you really are ready to go. Sink there. Toilet, so like a pump toilet. The waste goes to a septic tank and then through a macerator to be pumped out at sea. I know some people in Malta especially tend to bypass the septic tank. They actually think it's a legal requirement that you have it, so I didn't take it away. I left the macerator pump with it. And there's the sink with the hose which kind of goes up to become a shower, the drain there. So you can shower in here, and obviously you have the toilet too. That's the shore power system. You can run all your 240 sockets and lights and everything else off shore power if you choose, which you pay for at the meter. So that's all in good working order. That's the face-off radio. Maybe worth mentioning as well, I've changed all the lights. Well, about 3 years ago now, when we first bought the boat, replaced all the lights with LED lights, just so we'd have less drain on the batteries if we were out at sea. And then this is the aft cabin. This is the biggest one. Sleep a couple of people very comfortably here, the full width of the boat. And that's another stash full of life jackets, like I said, we've done everything to kind of legal requirements really. So the number of life jackets on board is what is legally kind of needed. So that's that really. That's how it is inside. Lovely little boat. Like I said, the big things for me in terms of selling points are the rewire, which is all kind of, everything's brand new. But the biggest thing really is the engine. The engine replacement and 1 year warranty. So that's a nice selling point really, and peace of mind to know that if anything should go wrong, which it shouldn't because it's all new, but if the worst would happen, everything's kind of worry free for the next year. There you go, that gives you an idea of the noise, I guess, when you're on board with the engine hatch covered. That's it.